In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at the Pythagorean Theorem and how to solve problems involving triangles. So this problem says find the value of x, round the answer to the nearest tenth. So x is right here. In case you can't see it, we found x, right? So now we just need to find the value of x. Now, one of the things that we'll need to remember for this is called the Pythagorean Theorem, and hopefully you've heard it before. This will probably look familiar to you. The Pythagorean Theorem, created by good old Pythagoras, you can look that up for yourself on Wikipedia, is a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. Now each one of those letters represents a side of the triangle. The c is the most important one, I guess. It's the one that's most noteworthy. That is known as the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse, just like that. And that is the side that is across from the right angle. So here's our right angle. This over here, this is the hypotenuse. And we call that C. And this, either one of these legs, it doesn't matter which one we call them, but we can call this one A and this one B, or if we just feel like we're contrary, we can call this one B and this one A if we feel like it. It really doesn't matter. I like A here and B here, so I'm going to stick with that. And what the Pythagorean theorem tells us is that if I square the value of the side of A and add it to the square of the value of B, I will get the square of the hypotenuse. We want to find x, however. We don't want to find the hypotenuse, we want to find x. Well, we can still use the same formula. So let's see what that looks like. So we'll replace a squared with the value of a, which is x squared, and the value of b, which is 7, so 7 squared. And that's going to be equal to c squared, which is 12 squared. Then we'll evaluate what we have. X squared plus 7 squared is 49, equal to 12 squared, which is 144. We'll subtract 49 from both sides. Hopefully you're picking up on this, where we're going. 144 minus 49 is going to give us 95. 95. So x squared, the 49's cancel out, is equal to 95. At this point, we have to find the value. So we have x squared over here, and this is equal to 95, but we don't want x squared, we just want x. So how can we undo x squared? Well, we take its square root. But if we want to keep things balanced, we have to take the square root of both sides, right? Just like the basics of balancing an equation. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. When we take the square root of x squared, we get x. We get x there. And when we take the square root of 95, it just so happens that we get 9.74679, a big number. But we are going to round to the nearest tenth. So it's going to be 9.74, which is 9.7. And that is exactly what we have, 9.7. Let's do one more. The length of one leg of a right triangle. So we can draw a right triangle here. I'll just freehand that. I'm not an excellent artist, but we can do it. The length of one leg of a right triangle is 18. And the hypotenuse is 30. What is the length of the other leg of the triangle? And so once again, we're going to use a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. We have a here, we have b down here, and we have c over here. So let's try it out. 18 squared plus x squared there is equal to 30 squared. Now you can punch those values in your calculator and you'll get that 18 squared is 324 plus x squared is equal to 30 squared, which is 900. 900. And then once again, we're going to subtract the numbers over here from both sides. Negative 324 from both sides is going to give us x squared is equal to 576. And once again, we need to take the square root of x squared to get x. Therefore, we'll take the square root of 576. And that's going to leave us with x on the left side, and the square root of 576 turns out to be 24. And that is our answer. And there it is, letter A.